Okay. Get my notes in order here. All right. All right, you ready? Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and I'll bring our Economic Development Committee to order for Thursday, July 18th, 2024. I think we'll just jump right in, guys. Let's do quick introductions real quick. So, Stan, I'll have you start.
Oh, okay.
Is one local business person participate?
Go ahead and turn your mics on. Thank you.
It's just for the
Participating in the EDC.
Okay, thank you.
Short and sweet. Oh, Judith Jeremiah, thank you again for including me on
Of
the
course.
committee. I appreciate it. We do live outside the city limits on Schultz Road, so we've really been watching the sky lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your next question is what interests me.
Okay, we'll be coming back. Don't you worry.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, Eliza Mason, Lilliputopia Farm.
Well, gee, we're quick and to the point, aren't we? Dan Sheets, mayor. I live here in the city, believe it or not. And, we're going to talk about economic development tonight. So go ahead.
Nicholas Rich, city councilor, tax preparer slash
Extraordinaire. Mhm.
yeah, bookkeeping, all that kind of stuff.
Harry Myers, city councilor, work at home IT developer, and just looking forward to building the economics around here.
All right. Steve, you want to?
Steve Martineco, city administrator.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's go to the icebreaker. So the icebreaker is, if you owned a building in downtown Monroe along Highway 99, what business would you start and market there? I'm going to start with Harry.
Well, since my family been involved in quite a few different things, but we owned a what was called a department store back in the day for 50 years, and I started working in it when I was 12, and so I wouldn't mind doing that. It's kind of like a feed and seed does stuff now with a lot of working clothes, but without the feed and the seed stuff.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I can market it enough to bring enough to keep it open type of thing.
Mhm.
But I think that would be my dream, kind of a retirement job to
Mhm.
recreate family business.
Okay.
Because I think we still have the legal name available. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. You are next, sir.
I would want to do like a small movie theater.
Mm.
Not, I don't know, like 2 or 3 screens, like,
Mhm.
but they could be smaller,
Right.
But I don't know. I just really like movies a lot, and I think that would be a fun business to do. I don't know how viable it would be, but I don't know. If I had the capital, I think
Right.
that might be fun to do. Or it might be fun to run at a loss and just because I like it.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that too, but I'm thinking about the kids too. So I was thinking like an
Yes.
arcade or something for the kids too.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of where I was at too. Yeah. Okay, your turn. Eliza.
Yeah, I'd really like the little like bakery cafe, mostly because I love to eat that fresh baked stuff. Have a little place that the community could gather
That's
on the
key.
weekdays, just space to hang out, have like casual meetings, and have some coffee and be able to sit down.
Judith Jeremiah, we've owned quite a few businesses, and I don't know, I'd want to go back to any of them, to tell you the truth. We had two in Astoria. One was in the bottom of the historic John Jacob Astor Hotel, which was really cool because it had a big ballroom in the back that my kids loved to go in. And I have a picture of the elephant in there in the early 30s. The circus came in on the train. So that was cool. It was interesting. It was nice to be able to facilitate things for people. And then we owned a trucking company in Cresswell. Together it was probably around 30. A lot. I don't want to go back to that. So it does start me thinking. And when you said movies, I went back and done some research on things that have happened in the past. And the one that really caught my eye was when you interviewed, or an entity did, the 2 8th grade classes of 30 students. And when you said movies, right after sports and let's see, parks, that was the thing the kids wanted. And that is just my passion. There is nothing for kids to do here unless it's affiliated with the school.
Right.
So I am in the process of talking again with Bo, and I'm willing to write grants.
Awesome.
RDI.
Yeah. With the movie theater thing, I always thought about that too. Was like,
And
especially because
play
during the
people.
day it would be slow anyway. So like you could during the day, during the week, basically like do discount movies for the kids
And
to
it
come. Or
opens up plays, it opens up
yeah.
things that would encourage also the teachers that are working with drama class.
I do have a second choice, and that would be a workout facility where they can all come in and work out.
Oh, like a small gym or something.
Yeah, with weights and machines and stuff.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Stan.
This one's a bit difficult for me. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so I've had a retail TV sales repair shop. I've had a washer dryers appliance store. I've had a plumbing repair company, general contractor, so a little bit of everything there. Looking at, and currently I'm still running my own business here and consulting for business and quality. So having said all that, I tend to look at the area and a combination of what's here and what would live potentially onward, not so much what I would like to do, but what I think I would support doing or try to do. And it would be arts and crafts, studio style, where the local folks and a combination of arts and crafts and possibly wine tasting, but primarily the arts and craft side of things for all ages. So children up through seniors, where you can come spend a day, learn, and find a way to make a living, or not a living, but an income off of it. If it were in the city.
Right.
Outside the city is a whole different story.
Steve.
Hardware store,
Hardware store.
like Rob Netz and Corvallis.
Okay.
Yes,
All right. That's a really cool idea.
that's an interesting store. It just goes on forever.
Okay.
I think I just unlocked my car.
All right, some really great ideas. If any of us get the chance to buy a building, got some ideas.
Someone is, Kim Filder's looking at Raina's place for a bakery and exactly what Eliza just said.
Oh, yay.
Catherine
It's down on
Place.
top territorial, about a mile
Because
south.
otherwise I got to go to Mac Porter's or somewhere else if I want a small group. Yeah.
So the next thing we have on the agenda here is, Stan, I didn't know if you want to go ahead and provide an update on the Monroe Events and Activities website. If there's anything more you wanted to plug on that. I know you're looking for, I think you're still looking for
Content.
feedback
Yeah,
and
content.
content too.
At this point, it's content. We have the website, it's up, it's working. I'm not hearing complaints. I'm not getting any input. And I think at this point, it's how do we reach out and get that input and make sure that anything that gets posted, and I use the term anything with caution, but things that get posted on social media get filtered properly and promoted on the BAM website or the events and activities. I continue to see things. I think we totally missed the Christmas in July
Yeah.
Mm,
July 20th.
process. And
okay.
That's this
Yeah.
Saturday.
This
Yeah.
Saturday.
that's this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we should reach out to
Misty.
Misty
Misty, I was gonna
Misty.
say.
and see if we can get some input from her to get up on the site.
Mhm. No, I think it's a great idea.
And now is a good time to start putting stuff up there for Halloween, for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, Labor
Absolutely.
Day. I mean,
Whatever, yep,
we got to get content.
yep.
Continue to get fresh content. And the festival, if it's going next year or intended to go next year, we should get everything updated.
It will in a different form. So the city won't be sponsoring it.
Right,
And it won't-
okay.
and more than likely, we're not gonna have it on city property either. So that's a whole nother thing. We
But
gotta get
there is an
organized.
intent to have.
There
the
is an
festival.
intent, yes.
So the
Yeah.
dates, approximate dates, mark your calendars.
We haven't talked about the dates yet.
Those types of things should be getting in there. And then obviously there should be some activity talking about this year's. How did it go?
Mhm.
I'm not sure what's on the site
Okay,
because I don't get a chance to look at it very often right now.
okay. So how would one go about if they wanted to add content to the website?
Yeah, good
How would they
question.
go about doing that?
There's two ways. One way is to provide it. And I think there is a link on the website that says,
Mhm.
please add.
Okay.
For those that want to use it on a regular basis,
Mhm.
we're more than happy to give you the tool set to actually go and put your own. And then if anything comes up, you can always contact the website developer, Kirby, and he'll help you through or fix or add. And I'm still looking to see if we can find any newspaper or journalist who just want a place to publish
Mhm.
at no cost to them.
Right.
Stories about the past, the current, the future, whatever makes it interesting.
Right. Okay.
Do you have a way of keeping track, not of the person, but how many are actually viewing it? Or a way to contact them back or ask a question?
There is a
Yeah.
membership process. There is an idea, and we can certainly turn on a counter.
I think that would be
Attracting-
helpful to
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
What about just in terms of how many people have visited the page?
Those statistics we are gathering. Google has changed its methodologies, so I need to go back and figure out whether we're tracking it, how we're tracking it. I can't tell you that off the top of my head. But absolutely, we track the hits, where they're coming from. And currently, a lot of it is coming from all over the place, and it's mostly bots.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
A lot of fishing going on.
Yeah,
yeah.
apparently, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all the websites. If you go look at websites today, the real challenge is to figure out what's real and what's just machine.
AT&T got compromised.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I got a $500 bill, roughly a $500 bill off of their compromise.
I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Here we go. Okay. All right. Thank you, Stan.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next item, which is Downtown Monroe Businesses Meeting. So we talked about doing it this year, and it's July now. So at our last BAM meeting, we talked about revisiting this, and there's definitely interest in doing it. thinking the January, February timeframe. But we need to, BAM will work with the businesses and see if we can get them together and we can get that meeting sorted out.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't make the last BAM. I tried to get the executives from the Monroe Cemetery, but
Okay,
I couldn't get them lined out.
okay.
I mean, I'm supposedly the vice president, but I told them that's in name only.
Okay. Now, just stay in touch with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's, I'm trying to get the museum to answer too on that too. So,
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. So we'll keep everybody posted on the business meeting, the businesses meeting, I should say. The next item I've got on here, making Monroe shovel ready for economic development. And Steve, this was something you wanted to add to the agenda this evening.
So shovel ready, of course, is a economic development term that all the people that like to do development use the word shovel ready. So I'm saying it with a bit of a smile and in parentheses. But so it was a very interesting choice of icebreaker today because we had a very interesting choice of a variety of businesses and things that came out. One of the things that as a city we tried to figure out, and we have been trying to, we could maybe call it a plan, economic development plan. What does Monroe want to be when it grows up? Beautification, all these different things. We have all these different little things we talk about. But if you think about it a moment, there are some things that have to go in place first. And I'm just going to use two words that really don't have much to do with economic development. They're not in the vocabulary necessarily, but one is convenience and the other one is accommodation. So what's convenience? Well, convenience can be a lot of different things. But for instance, I've had two people in the last few weeks want to know, is there a hardware store in town? They really don't want to go to BNI and JC. They don't want to go to Home Depot and Corvallis or Eugene,
Right.
but they need some parts for their toilet and they're going to have to go somewhere to get it.
Right.
So to be convenient, if you want to start a business in Monroe, what's convenient for people? It could be, convenience could also be, you know, things that I don't want to take my laundry in the JC. I don't want to, I prefer to get a little bit of gas here and not go elsewhere. Gas is one of those things everyone does, a supermarket, things that are convenient for people. But convenience can also be more than that. It's also it's convenient to stop in Monroe because there's something here for people to do. It could be a movie theater to do that. It could be a bakery downtown that people can stop by and get some It's convenient for them to come in and get some coffee, sit down, talk with folks, and leave. There's lots of coffee shops, and everywhere has a coffee shop someplace that people can just come in, sit down, have a cup of coffee, a donut, a pastry, and start their day off or end their day because it's convenient for them to do so. But in order to do that in Monroe, what do we need? What are some of the building blocks that we need?
Parking.
Parking?
That's
Yes.
why people.
There's no place, exactly.
Main
That's
Street at Junction is.
exactly.
poor.
There's no place to park. So no matter how nice the idea is, there's no place for people to conveniently pull off the road. As a result, we have 8,000 ADT, that's average daily travel from ODOT. That means we have 8,000 vehicles going back and forth. How many of them are stopping? How many of them are getting to the places that we want them to go or what we might think? So that's a building block. If we don't solve that building block, we can have all the great plans in the world, but nothing's going to happen. So in that regard, we aren't shovel ready because we don't have some of the very basic things that folks needs. The other word is accommodation. What's accommodating? Well, that can be a lot of different things too. But accommodating can also be the fact that we have a nice system in place that allows businesses to come into town, get going, they get help. Our permit system is not onerous. It's not causing them problems or issues. It allows them to get going. Our land use codes are streamlined and up to date. Again, that building blocks we're working on it, but it's not in place. So that's kind of an impediment for people to need to come in because we don't have some of these things that are ready to go. There are some other ideas too, and I borrow these from the behavioral sciences. Are you sure you're or may not be familiar with Abraham Maslow and his hierarchy of needs? So what Maslow said is that this is a linear progression. So it starts with your physical safety, and then your personal needs, then your social needs, then ego needs, and then self-actualization. And each step above cannot really happen until the steps below occur. So if you're struggling with, if you're struggling with personal safety, okay, it's going to be very hard for you to forage and get food. And it's going to be very hard for you to deal with social things unless your safety is taken care of and your personal needs, your hygienic and food and the things you need to sustain you and your health. So how does that translate to a city? Well, that's really kind of like your infrastructure. We need to have good infrastructure, water and waste systems for our safety and health, right? Roads that are in good condition and safe. You can't progress to different levels in the economic model unless those lower levels are taken care of. And you also, by the same time, you cannot exceed those either. We've talked about that extensively. Well, how many more homes can we have in Monroe before our lagoons won't sustain them? Or how many more homes can we have in Monroe before the water system needs to be added to, right? How many more homes can we have before we exceed the permit for the amount of water we can draw from the Long Tom River? So those are things that are part of that health and safety that also are part of that puzzle piece that goes into being a shovel-ready Monroe. So those are some of the concepts. I use the word convenience. I use the word accommodating. And they are things that actually government, we talk about this as a city process. And I think at times we've struggled with what can the city do? Well, some things are BAM, some things are other activities. The businesses getting together and doing things and making it happen. But those are all things the city can manage and take care of and work on. But if they're not in place, you don't have a shovel-ready town in order for all these ideas to come to fruition because people won't want to come here because we're not ready for them. And they know that. That's the concept. I just want, since we're involved with economic development plans and ideas and thoughts, that's what I think about when I go to the planning commission or when Kim wants to start a bakery in Raina's place. Those are things that we want to be, you know, I asked her, she needs to talk to me about parking. How are you going to deal with that? It might be a deal breaker for her. I said, I want you to be wildly successful. But in case you are wildly successful, how are you going to do that?
Right.
Well, some ideas might be she can go across the street and talk to the Niestrums or the Arts Center. But if also, does the city now should get ODOT involved and get some crossing, safer crossing across there, maybe better lighting. Those are, you do another behavioral thing, hygienic things. That would be Hertzberg and his two-factor. But if you take those ideas and say, how can we make things safe? Well, rapid flashing beacons, a stopping light, but then if we stop people in the middle of town, you can, with 8,000 ADT, can you imagine the amount of people backed up on either side? Yet our Riverside District Master Plan, which is part of economics, says we're a river-facing organization. So maybe we don't want to stop traffic. Maybe we want to move traffic over. So these are the ideas, that come out of this thinking of how do we make things convenient and how do we accommodate to make sure that our town is ready for all the ideas that all of you just talked about.
Question, Steve.
I've always seen it as a triangle
There we go.
or pyramid, I should say.
when I think of shovel ready, and this goes back in my own experience, that implies there is land, permits,
Right.
the sewer water. It's shovel ready for building. Versus what my experience was in Fremont, California, city management, which was business ready.
Well,
Being-
I'm using, so Stan, I know you,
I'm
the
just
term
wondering-
means something, and that's the reason why I preface this with putting it in parentheses. Shovel ready is a term that is well used and well known. I'm applying it, however, to putting the puzzle pieces together so that the foundation of building a new businesses is ready. So a shovel ready in the sense that the town is ready from an infrastructure viewpoint, from a policy viewpoint, from permits and bureaucracy viewpoint, from a safety and health viewpoint. We are ready to accommodate and be convenient for those people. It's taking a term and applying it in a different way.
Yeah, I raise that point because things I have been doing with Eugene have been heavily focused on multi-million-dollar shovel-ready environments. And I brought this question up. What's the difference between shovel-ready and business-ready? And everybody just stopped and stared at me. Which is common for me anymore. But I think there's a absolute relationship to the way you're using shovel ready. But does it help us from an EDC point of view to have that foundation of knowledge, but be talking towards business ready? There are some buildings, there are some places, and it's the business, not the building of buildings.
I'm not interested in the term Stan. All I
Okay.
care about is being convenient and accommodating and making sure that our town is ready, because we are not.
Yeah,
If you call it business ready or shovel ready, it means something to you, and I respect that it's been your world. In my world, I take words and try to build meaning to them that all of us can use and utilize. And so I just want the town to be convenient for people to stop and do things. I want it to be accommodating. I want the right choice of businesses to be able to flourish here. And yes, is that business ready? We're not even really shovel or business ready. We're
Right.
even before that.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do, is lay a foundation so that when we get into the plans of saying, we really do want a multi-million-dollar company is not going to come here at the moment. It just isn't. And they won't. There's no reason for them to at the moment. So how do we get ourselves ready for that? And it does start with the small businesses we already have, with taxes, with farming. It starts with all of that. It starts with getting your little signs out in the corner and say, come down this road and you're going to have you're going to have a wonderful time with our produce and other things that we have for you. We're really excited to have a bakery downtown. That would be cool. Sure.
Yes.
Go ahead. What we were just talking about regarding the bakery, it seemed like it was really helpful when you started to elaborate on some of the barriers that she might be encountering. And if those things could be sort of delineated and discussed, you could talk about how you could remove some of those obstacles. That could be one of those steps.
Well, and what I told, I gave her quite a bit of information. I asked her to talk to the art center, the Niestrums, and think about how you might take advantage of empty space that they have over there, and make arrangements. I already know that Brady Croson, for instance, has been talking the same level. How can we share some resources so that people aren't parking everywhere?
So maybe, so if she opens up a business, she has a requirement to dictate where her parking is beyond in front of the building?
No, she has to come to the planning commission and explain a plan to the planning commission on the ideas that she has to eliminate, because the planning commission has to look at congestion, safety, all those things as a mandatory part of the decision criteria. So I asked her to make a consideration for that. And she has to. She's going to have to come to the planning commission and do that. So I give her ideas to try and help her. I'm not saying she has to, but she does have to come to the planning commission with ideas as to how she's going to deal with congestion, parking, all those things. And that right now is a barrier. I'm no doubt about it.
Well, and I know we've talked about putting some sort of parking and infrastructure over across the street from the library, just as a accessibility to the town. I mean, because basically if you're talking about finding these businesses in town and it's walkable, and you know, we reduce the speed on the 99 to hopefully help with that, making it more walker friendly,
that's all
pedestrian
part,
friendly.
absolutely all part of the puzzle pieces.
But you know, the city having some sort of public parking so that they can not just enjoy one, but maybe they have to walk through and
Enjoy all of them.
yeah, exactly.
There have been ideas. One of our folks offered to trade some land for some of our land for parking. That would be the land that's next to our lift station. So there have been a number of ideas.
As part of the EDC, would it make sense to start discussing and looking for a way to take a portion of Northgate and make it parkable space?
You're talking about the gate, what we call the Gateway Park area,
Yeah.
north of the library.
Oh, north of the line, not North 8th, but
No.
north of Ash Street.
Right.
The lease that we have with the county,
Yes.
that land.
Yeah.
I mean, just a portion of it, but it would give people a way to park and then walk
Right.
the town, which, you know, when you walk, you stop.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of them are using
But-
the library right now.
From an EDC point of view, parking is an issue.
Mhm.
That seems pretty remote from what you guys
It
are
does.
talking about. That lift station location is much more,
Yeah.
is
Oh,
much more effective.
it's a little more
It's right in the very
central
heart of the city,
located,
so
yeah.
central. So
Yeah.
having a little small parking area down there where you can put, you know, 10, 15 cars or something,
Well,
that is gonna
Mhm.
get you way closer.
And if,
to what
Yeah,
your goals are in terms of getting people into.
well, yeah, and especially if we have our trail system is there,
Mhm.
that goes along the river, that would
One-
really help.
One isn't exclusive of the other, though.
No, it's not. I mean, it's
But
gonna be
we're
incremental.
beginning point. So
Yeah.
the other benefit of the lift station is that they did the feasibility for that big pedestrian bridge over into the city park.
Right.
So
Mhm.
that could make that location a very highly functional and useful public service essentially. Where you
Which-
kind of just pull in and park and have access to the Benny's and Long Timber and Art Center and all businesses.
Well, and I don't disagree that is better, like more central, but also
It's off the road.
working with what we
What is available to us.
that's easily available versus,
Right.
you know, basically,
Mhm.
it's not that we want to stop there and say, well, we knocked the parking out. So, you know, I agree that like something more central, and it'd be nice to have a footbridge across to the park, because it's kind of a nightmare right now trying to get to the park
That's actually
by any way other than driving.
a separate process. That's
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
Separate project, yeah.
Right.
But I know we,
There's gonna have to be access to that at some point anyway.
but the other reason why that works is because we have the path project going in, which basically would make an easy way into, park over there and walk or ride over, you know.
The other thing that I know, when I was on the council for 3 terms, my area, because we're a small municipality like this, was planning and land use. And when you do put in a designated parking area for a small business, I'm not sure how yours is written, but it was that they could use that. Say, for example, a coffee shop, you're going to say, well, we have X number of people that come in, so that, you know, so they get the flow, but we have a designated parking area that those people can access if they're within such a range.
Right.
And I know that helped in Warrenton,
Well,
which has grown.
I also think that this parking thing we really don't want that to be a deterrent to people and put it like, we want people to come and not be scared away. We want to work with them to try to solve it with what we have. So yes, going to the other businesses, which really, you know, we need more, that need more business, like the arts or the library and the restaurants that don't have people parking there all the time. They would get more business if people came there to park to get coffee and then went to eat lunch and then went to the arts place. Like if they, like you're saying, shared the parking, it would make a lot of sense for all of the businesses to succeed.
And that comes back to getting the business owners together, having that discussion, and hopefully getting them to open up sooner than later.
Are they even closed? Like, for instance, if I wanted to walk over to the up and down the street, can't I just park at the Dairy Mart and do that? There's no signs that say this is for only Dairy Mart. I'm not aware of any signs in town that say this is parking for this business only. So
They used to have one.
is open to people parking in different places.
There are some signs on some of the parking spots
At Dairy Mart.
on the other side of Dairy Mart for,
Oh, Jason at Long Branch.
yeah, to the Long Branch. There's some signs there.
Like towing.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to most of us are so aware of controlled parking in cities that we would normally not park at Dairy Mart to go
Right.
to Long Branch or Long Timber or Benny's. We just wouldn't do it.
If you were a visitor to the city.
A visitor, yes, because outside the city, I'm gonna get a ticket or I'm gonna get hauled outside of this city.
True.
So the norm, I would just expect to be without a sign that says you can park here.
Yeah.
The
Like in,
assumption is you can't.
like in Junction City, there's a whole corner of a city block that says it's public parking. Yeah, because you know, a lot of the people's lots they're owned by the businesses.
Well,
So you
and-
really can't expect the city to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
That would be violation of actually a
And
constitutional right.
if in off-peak times, I'm sure most of the businesses are not out there like policing who's parked in their parking lot and
No.
whatnot. But they're also not going to want to just say, "Oh yeah, anybody can come park here," because they want to protect that for,
Yeah, and I've parked at Dairy Mart.
you know,
and
they don't
walked
want
over
somebody
to
not being
Long
able to go
Timber,
to their business.
But I also
because
shopped
there
at
was
Dairy
no
Mart on the same trip.
Tons of people who shop at Dairy Mart park across the street over at the one. And there's
Well,
there's no sign there that says-
that's
Oh, yeah,
public,
on
that's
street
public
parking.
property.
That's- Yeah.
on the street park.
street parking. Yeah.
On the street parking, yeah.
So by that token, then you just look at making an analysis of the city. I walk through the city all the time. We're kind of focusing on this chicken and an egg scenario.
Yeah.
Because the place is not, you don't have a problem parking in Monroe. So
Yeah,
if you say you can't come in here until you come up with a plan for parking because we may have a problem.
That's usually the structure.
It's sort of like you're getting the cart before the horse.
Well, when we, at the gas station, when that was a music venue, parking was an issue there.
If there's
The
events.
planning
Yeah.
commission,
Right.
by our
Yes.
criteria, has to look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
Has to
Well,
be
like I said,
addressed.
like 90% of the time, it's not going to be an issue. It's when they have that peak.
There
You know,
are
if they have an event going
companies-
on, or it's Saturday night, or I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's what, 4 or 5 spots right on.
There is, unless there's a semi park there because they all stop to go to Dairy Mart.
Yeah.
There is that.
The worst parking I've
There are companies who build and manage parking spots, and in today's world, they don't even need kiosk setups to put money in. You get an app, there's a single sign on it. Potentially, a company like that would come in and work with the city to put a portion of the gateway into parking. I understand that, but to some degree, there's a chicken and the egg. Without it, you get people complaining that I can't bring a business in because there's no parking. So coming up with a plan.
It would be great
saying
we
put
had-
it in. I'm really talking about coming
Really
up with a
super
plan.
successful business and they need parking.
We
You know,
have to address that before.
that's right. You gotta
You have-
plan for
Not
it. You have to plan
afterwards.
for it, yeah.
It has to be planned for. That's the
Yes,
key.
it is.
And having acceptable approaches, which could in fact be, having a company that would do it and a company that wants to put a business here
Mhm.
becomes a marriage.
Yeah.
But I agree, right at the moment, other than when I try to go to Long Branch on a busy night or Long Timber on a busy night, I park a few blocks away. I won't walk from my house, which is reasonably close, because I have to walk on the highway.
Yeah, there's not a really good safe pathway there.
There's not a safe way to get to the trail.
Street
Right.
lights.
So that creates a bit of a
I
problem.
mean, we've only got a couple businesses that actually own the lot or own enough property to put a lot in, like the Dollar General owned
Mhm.
the lot to put their own parking in.
And their business model is built with that parking lot in mind because that's about the traffic they have.
Yeah, they thought it out. And that was the kind of things that we asked them when they came in for the permit.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem is if we get another business like that, say people want a supermarket. We don't have the real estate for a supermarket to come in and put their parking lot in that they would be required to put in. You have no place to put it.
What's happening?
The Loving Building?
If you don't want to do that, that's.
Someone else has bought that. They're gonna do something else with that. Someone else has bought that property, so I think they're gonna put houses. Yeah.
I tried changing the land.
But it's not available. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have it.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
I get
the
what you're
problem
saying.
is,
something else.
Well, excuse me, Mayor,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
that brings up the issue for me
Mhm.
about what you have on your website as available and vacant lands. Also, it's so small, I can't read the print. So I'm trying to figure out what color is this. The property that y'all mentioned,
Uh-huh.
which is just north of the library.
Mhm.
That's what I was trying to pick. What in the heck? Who
Well,
owns it? What's the availability?
So Steve, are you gonna try and pull up something for us?
I think the
What would you like to
projector's
pull
not
up?
working though.
Could you pull up, are you using Google Maps or are you using the?
Yeah, let's see if the problem is our
The projector
projector.
keeps dying.
Yeah, I just can't. Because I'm advocating for the kids,
Of course.
our young people, our teens, that I have to take them to Harrisburg to play
Right.
basketball. And I know how Harrisburg got that.
So I think, because
Not
isn't it
only
a
that,
long
the
strip
skate park.
basically that goes up to cemetery?
Yeah, I'm actually all the way to Cemetery Road.
I mean, none of it's developed, but basically we leased it for,
Really
But see,
sit in the
I'm
hallway.
looking for a spot that is very visible. I don't want these
Mhm.
kids hiding up.
do we actually,
I mean, it's basically along it's between the old railroad bed
Mhm.
and
The
then the highway.
Yep.
So it's basically a long strip.
And then ash and then.
I mean, and there's obviously there's a bunch of vegetation
did
and
we lease it all the way to Cutoff Road?
I thought it was to cemetery.
Oh, just a cemetery?
Yeah. just
Yeah.
The
cemetery.
way that they finally got the populace, the majority to agree to that was not, they had got the
The
grants.
city
and
property
that
line.
Was
Actually
because
doesn't
the
go up the cemetery
basketball,
road.
the skate park. And then they said, we can do pickleball.
Right.
And so they did fundraisers and, but
Right.
because of that thing, it addressed more than just the kids.
Right.
And they did it. And I have never seen a town that has so many scooters. And no bicycles. You hardly ever see a
Everybody's got a
bicycle.
scooter.
Yeah.
I mean, those kids are just.
No,
zooming.
there's a lot of land over there to develop since we got that, but there's a matter of funding.
There is a limitation. There is a limitation, if I remember correctly. I think one of the conditions is they want us to use it for essentially a park, if I remember right.
We could use it for a park, for stand-up, you could do I gave them examples of farmers markets, pop-ups,
So we can do some sort of parking there too.
parking. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this right here
It's not that big.
is the property in question. We actually goes all the way up
Oh, there
here
you
to
go.
Cemetery
Yeah,
Road.
all
So it's
the
this
cemetery.
narrow strip
So-
right here along the highway.
Mhm.
Could you check the Loving Field? My map shows that that has city right of ways all the way through that field.
Well, it has city right of ways here
Yep.
and here,
Alleyway, there's the alleyway in
right?
between.
We have one here as
So that's all,
well.
that's not all hers. That big field is not one
Well-
continuous field. I mean, it is, but property wise, it's
Where the
not.
heck is
That was plotted some centuries ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. My land is plotted with all kinds of.
I was just curious if that plot is still legal.
When we looked at ours for the same reasons, no, nobody will tell us what's plotted is legal.
Okay.
Mine is 3 lots
Keeps
that are
telling us-
split into
Benton
2
County
tax lots.
shows it is.
Well, the city, all the maps show it,
Yeah.
but when we talked to the county about it, because we're in the county, they said, well, yeah, we know it's drawn that way, but don't count on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know our
An answer is
property,
that.
like on the map, it's like 3 lots, but they're not actually 3 tax lots, it's 2 tax lots. So then it's like they combine them and then cut it in half or
Oh,
something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mine is actually 3
But it
tax
still
lots.
shows the original 3 on the on the
That's
map.
interesting. Okay.
I actually have 3 tax lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 lots that are 1 tax lot and then 2 25-foot tax lots.
I have like 6.
Yeah, mine are
of
like
these
1.5
skinny
lots
10-foot
on
by
each.
100-foot lots.
Yeah, don't confuse what's real with taxation.
Right.
Just curious, because if you're not paying taxes for it, you don't own it.
Right.
That too, yes.
So it's a narrow property, but it is long and it's separated by some vegetation. I think there's some water that goes there,
Right,
but I mean,
Uh,
technically you could.
Is it wetland?
It's
There-
wetland.
I'm sure
This
it's
is-
wetland.
There's a former mill pond there.
This is officially designated wetlands.
Seriously, there was a former mill pond.
Interesting. It's a wet.
The
it's a
mill
designated
ponds are right
wetland.
here,
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
and this
I mean,
is all wetlands.
You could probably put a small bridge or something through there,
Yeah,
but
the mill pond, they just
you'd have
dammed
to
up
leave most of the.
Okay.
creek and made a mill pond out of it.
Okay.
And actually, if you go up
Heck
to
are they?
Henry
Is that still
Torrance's,
county land where the mill pond is?
no, it's private,
No, this is all private here.
Okay.
but is Henry Torrance still living up there?
It's Brian Ray now has it. Let's see, I think Henry has this, yeah. It's now Ruby. Has
Oh,
it.
his wife?
And
Okay.
then Brian Ray they subdivided this out,
Okay.
Okay.
they put a partition in here about 3 years ago. 4
What's
years
going
ago.
on with the Wilbur Ellis? That's a big parking lot in town right
huge.
now.
It's
It
a very
is.
expensive one.
It is.
Yeah.
1.7.
They want a lot for it. I don't know.
They have a commercial kitchen. I call BS on
No.
that.
Mm-mm.
They have a
Requirements
commercial
have
kitchen.
changed.
They
on
said
it.
they had a commercial
Commercial
kitchen I looked at the real estate ad. They said they had a commercial kitchen. The only commercial kitchen is at Long Timbers. Possibly you can count,
Well, we used to have one here.
we do have one here.
Is it still
It's still there.
licensed
No,
as a
it's-
commercial kitchen?
Well, we haven't had it,
Test
They haven't had
and
it certified.
expect.
we haven't had it, Benton County hasn't been out in a long time.
But we haven't been using
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was
when
at
the
one
seniors
point.
were using it.
Can't go see the high school.
The food pantry probably has one then.
Do they?
The Heritage
They-
Hall kitchen is
Yeah, it's-
certified.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
certified.
did they get,
But yeah, as far as like parkland, if to do something with, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could do over there.
So
Yeah.
what are the plans? I mean, I know I asked to be on the Parks and Rec, I'm here. But, so is
So
there,
There's been a few things discussed, like,
Yeah.
well, I know for sure that we had talked about having parking, whether that's just a
Yeah.
gravel lot or,
We'd probably start with gravel and then
Yeah.
pave it eventually.
but basically we
Yeah.
want parking on that first corner or whatever. There is gonna be a walking path that goes all the way through.
The old railroad.
On the railroad.
On the railroad bed.
On the road bed, yeah.
It runs along next to it all the way up to Alpine Cutoff.
Mhm. Yep, correct.
That's the idea.
And that one we already got a grant for, so the path is going
you
in.
do,
Yeah,
okay.
the path is supposed to go in.
make a street out of it?
But we had talked about what is it, the old doctor house?
Yeah, the doctor's house.
So-
Yep.
Being like a visitor center.
Yeah, we had talked about that as a visitor center. I don't know, a lot of people have thrown out different ideas as far as like,
Are we talking about putting it back together?
Yeah. Well,
Well, it's
we're
discussion.
gonna have to
Well,
reconstruct
there's a
it.
lot of.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard
Lot of
people
thought in it. I mean,
ask about skate park.
All I've
Um,
heard is in stories somewhere.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ideas,
Over
but
at the
right
local
now there's not really any grants or active grants or funds for any other development other than that path. So
So
we,
nothing at TNT.
nothing that-
if
that's
I
currently-
Contact RDI.
nothing's currently yeah,
In the works.
yeah. We talked about doing the parking for a while because we have events that come to town that
It'd be nice.
it would be
put
nice to have
pop-ups
some
there.
public parking and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Well, honestly, we've had
And people
people,
could park and access the path.
we've had people park there before. They've actually driven up,
Oh, on the
up
grass.
there.
Oh, on the grass.
The worst parking events I've ever seen is done by the high school. And I've seen it where
Track and field. I know
Yeah,
they have
they
events
had
in
a-
town.
they had a football game here once that was a playoff for their league and,
Mhm.
and
It's crazy. There's a
you,
lot of cars.
you couldn't park
yeah.
anywhere and you couldn't, I couldn't even access my house.
Oh, Jake.
They-
So, I mean, those are big, huge spikes.
Mhm.
Right, big, huge spikes and
Right.
If you put a parking lot up there.
Well, we don't want it to be all a parking lot,
No,
obviously, yeah.
just a portion of it.
Put any parking lot up there, I think
Mhm.
you find that a lot of other people would find more opportune street parking or the high school. or
Right.
The parking lot of the dollar store.
Yeah.
Well, the idea with having something gravelled or paved or something there was to do pop-up events there.
Well, yeah,
Maybe, you
yeah.
know, the farmer's market.
Well, and I know
or,
in
you
Veneta,
know,
they have
whatever.
those
Oh,
little
the
shed
container
units
things,
that
yeah.
people can
Yeah.
rent out and do a,
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are pretty cool.
do a
But
shop.
here's another thing that we got to think about is how many of our businesses employees drive and have to have parking to come to work?
Mhm.
And how
Square
many
footage.
businesses have required their employees to park somewhere else? So if we make that little parking area up there,
Mhm.
that'll free up however many people are driving into work by their employers making them park up there.
Yeah.
And that's not unheard of. When I go to Peace Health up in Vancouver, home office, we have to park 4 blocks away.
Well, and the other thing is if we put parking there, we want, I mean, basically, we want to have that as a park area. So
Yes.
however we develop it,
Well, and they could be
we want people to be able to park there and go enjoy.
the park.
Yeah, they would want to, yeah,
Absolutely.
part of the plan for the park so they can enjoy the,
I just wanted to clarify that,
Mhm.
and I respect the thought about good parking up there, but
Mhm.
frankly.
Right.
I think. You need to expand on, what are the barriers to creating more, some kind of even small lot in a more central location?
Right.
yeah.
Well, why can't we do both? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for instance, isn't this little lot that's just between the art center and Broadleys, isn't that city property? That little, there's a little small thing right at the very end there.
I thought that was Niestrom's property, but Steve can
So
correct me if I'm wrong.
so here's Broadleys right here.
So between the.
Art Center and Broadway, right?
Between Art Center and Broadway. Right there, that spot.
Yeah.
right here, this little gravelly.
Nystrom.
Niestrom.
Yeah, because I think that's parking for the art center too. They can park on that.
Yeah, it's also access to
To the
their,
dam, yeah.
the dam in that area that technically is
it's
theirs,
all
but
needs
they-
to own, yeah.
They own this section going all the way back here.
All the way to the river.
Yeah, all the way to the river, all the way back.
Hmm.
This is the property that they had behind the gas station, that there used to be a building here.
Right.
It got torn down.
Oh, the
They
old
own all
house, yeah.
that.
Mhm.
This is our lift station. We own that. And this is the area that Todd was talking to me about a few years ago that could be traded.
That would be the most likely.
Right.
For a possible bridge crossing and maybe some small.
Or
park
even
something.
right here too, behind here. But I also know the Niestrums wanted to use this whole area for another project.
Well,
So-
they've talked about redeveloping that property where the art center is and probably still incorporating an art center, but
Right.
some,
That
you know,
property is covered over is behind the.
They've talked about a hotel of some sort, incorporating some
Yes,
commercial
right
with
here.
the art center.
Yeah, this is-
I know that they've talked about some sort of multi-story thing that would
Yeah.
incorporate some different things.
So this whole area here is something the Niestrums have looked at developing.
Gerard's.
Mhm.
Yeah, the long-term argument for that is the long tom being part of the value of the city, having it being faced by a parking lot versus a building that you could sit out, eat and enjoy the Long Tom River going by like Willamette is. You still got the same problem, yes.
Yeah.
So do you use it for parking or do you use it for a business that would thrive next to the river?
So then you're talking about two sides of the river. You got a river walk here going somewhere, right?
Well, it would be in that too.
Yeah, I'm
It's
thinking,
in that
okay.
mix as well.
Maybe we could just walk them across the bridge.
But I know like having a bridge across would be really great for having, it would incorporate the city park better into the city as opposed to feeling like something that you have to drive to outside, like right outside the city.
Well, and it would also give us a backup because that's the only way across the river for miles.
Yeah.
So
Well-
Steve Jobs said something about selling that to the city. Is that what?
Not selling, he was gonna trade some land that he had for it.
Yeah, this is for a swap. Yeah.
This is Niestrom's parking lot across from
I know
the,
when we had originally talked about Kyle Springs being sold and all that.
Is he interested in any other parcel besides that?
no, he wasn't.
No, he was interested in that just because it's backs up to
It's-
his.
yeah, it's-
Center, actually, he said it's his property.
Yes,
Right,
it's
right.
landlocked, right. I'll point out that this is the Rose's property that he's currently using for employee parking. That's by agreement, but if Rose decides to develop this,
Mhm.
this is what he was using for employee parking.
Right.
Was right across the street.
Mhm. Okay,
And the property just right behind here is ours.
okay.
So there's our city block.
There you go.
Well, isn't that, that's.
It's like where the water, there's like a water main there or something, right?
Yeah, there's utilities there.
There's a sewer that comes right here and
Oh,
right
okay.
across here. It's actually right along the edge of
Okay.
this. And then comes over to
Goes
this
to the
alleyway
lift
and
station.
down,
Okay, gotcha.
down this alleyway between behind Monroe, the post office and
Mhm.
Gotcha.
excuse me, this is the long timber.
It's long timber, yeah.
Goes all the way down this way and then connects into Orchard.
Okay.
Would there be any other city property that would be considered to be sold?
Hmm. Great
What about the
question.
old haunted house property? Is that still the city's?
It is, but it's exclusive farm use.
Yeah, we found out that it's like EFU,
Yeah.
so there's not really like much you can.
You cannot
No,
use it. for
you cannot
anything but
downzone.
AFU.
It's-
Can't make a big parking lot out of it, huh?
We can't trade anything. You can like,
Also, ODOT was not gonna give anyone a permit to put access in there. It was originally designed, they want to put a park in there.
Mhm.
But the ODOT refused it because of the proximity to the park entrance, which
I
is
think even with the
crazy, but-
haunted house too, they had asked for some, try to do better access for it and
And they were.
they just said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's surrounded by wetlands as well.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's about 1 acre of property
Yeah.
that was taken out of the other are 10 acres, but that's the slough itself.
Mhm.
So it's not for sale.
No, we have it for sale, I
The haunted
think.
house property.
It has to, the problem is the CFU, so we haven't put it up yet, but it's gonna have to probably be bid on by the farmer across the way who has been interested in it. And it'll have to go back to the farm.
Right.
I mean, there could be a benefit to you leveraging some of this stuff.
I think the Long Tom Watershed Council also had interest in the slough portion.
Oh, the
so,
10 acres, yeah.
yeah, it's 11.5 acres altogether.
Right, to keep it as part of their wildlife
Right.
preservation,
Yeah.
habitat restoration.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of it is.
1 acre is
90%.
just that disheveled
Just where the-
building and
just where the
the,
building
yeah,
is from.
Mhm.
the rest of it is all in the slough and the
Yeah, we
forest.
put a well on there apparently, but it tests about 4 times it's a secondary chlorides or secondary standards, but it's 4 times the limit. In other words, it tastes like salt. So then you'd have to have reverse osmosis system to get rid of it.
I heard it was a lot of toxins.
No, there was arsenic in our number 2 well,
Oh, okay.
but that was because of the proximity of the transfer station. And once that transfer station went away, it's tested
it's
clean.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna move us on.
Okay.
I'm gonna combine the next 2 items on the agenda, the economic development plan next steps and the Benton County Economic Development Grant update. So I think we talked about Stan and Leslie were talking to us about basically taking all this information that we've had from when Chris was our rare participant and putting that into some sort of consumable means of review.
And yesterday Leslie gave me a proposal.
Okay, so we've got the proposal.
So I have a proposal. I have not read it yet.
Okay.
But
okay.
So I'm getting ready for Monday. But
so we can use that grant if we accept the proposal.
Yes. So I can bring that. I can actually bring that forward, but
okay.
I just haven't reviewed it yet.
Yeah. No,
yeah, and for clarity and transparency, this would be the proposal is Leslie making the proposal, not related to anything I do.
Right.
So
right.
that proposal is from her and her organization.
Right.
Who's Leslie?
So Leslie has got an administrative solutions business, and she's offering to do some, I don't know how would you describe the work?
Basically, her profession is local administration services. That's her business, LAS. She has a government, how would you say it, Steve? She has
been administrative assistant and executive administrative assistant. She's worked with different governmental organizations at a relatively high administrative level, not as the assistant, but more categorized as the.
She has experience with government, essentially.
Yeah. And with all that, the proposal is essentially how to get it all coalesced into knowledge and then turn that into a plan of action, a project, basically project management approach.
Yeah, there's all kinds of information there, and it's a lot to sift through. So having her combine it, consolidate it, and make it so it's something we can actually.
I would say in some ways she's a continuation of Chris, taking Chris's work and taking it to the next step, so that we don't lose all that work that has been done. Right. And I think Chris did some, and then there was somebody else in the rare group that did some before him. Well, I may be mistaken.
Taylor or RJ.
Yeah. So the idea was, let's take what we've already worked hard on and put it to use.
Yeah.
And she gets paid.
We have a grant with Benton County. We have a Benton County Economic Development Grant. It's $10,000 total, correct, Steve?
Correct.
So we were going to use part of that to pay her to do the work.
It's a use it or lose it. So
yeah.
We might as well find a way to use it.
We might as well use it for something useful. Because it's like
well, if we finish the plan, then we can pass it and move on to the next step.
Might get us some permits.
Right. Well, I mean, just thinking about the current staff that we have and Steve's bandwidth. Steve doesn't have the bandwidth, and if we've got this grant, why don't we use some of it to have somebody help us with this?
Be useful to zero in on what specifically the results are that you're looking to achieve from the money you invest beyond just formatted this in a different way for you to read that effect. So what result are you trying to get?
I think we need to. Yeah, we need to look at our proposal.
I think it's in. I think that's what
the goal is, to take all that and compile it into a single plan so we can pass it.
But we need to look at our proposal and see what she's got.
Yeah.
So, okay. We're gonna move on. Steve, do you have any planning updates you want to share with us? Anything new?
Kim Fields would like to do that, and I gave her the information.
Okay.
To move forward with that level of business.
Okay.
I do not have any other at the moment business applications.
Okay.
Specifically in. We have people that want, I haven't heard back from Jody in terms of Mr. Khan, in terms of that's the commercial property
on First Street.
But he hasn't, we gave him a lot line adjustment, but the commission was ready to allow him to put a residence on that lot. Right. So that's the only other thing that I have at the moment.
Okay.
I do have, and let's see if I can do this here and if we can. I have her a proposal.
Oh, Leslie's proposal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I know the council is also working on getting a plan in place for people to be able to do some limited Airbnb stuff for
Yeah,
I don't
that's on
know,
our
giving
agenda.
people opportunities
and
to
that's-
utilize their,
That's economic development too.
yeah,
Yeah,
giving
it's
people
not land
opportunity to
use.
utilize some of their.
yeah, we have a land use hearing on Monday night. That addresses that, yeah.
See if I can get this going just for a few seconds. It's the boldness. There's something wrong with how the system here is being done.
Or is the fan just dead? It's not cooling?
No, there is a fan. You can feel it. Hear it.
You can hear it.
I think the electronics that power the bulb is,
Maybe it's time for a new one.
it is time for,
Could
new.
have a solder break in there on the circuit board.
Yeah. Cold solder joint, as they say.
Yep, I've had that happen.
Oh, man.
Those bulbs are like $150 a piece.
I know they're expensive.
Oh, gee, that's just my new
Um,
projector.
Yeah.
You guys do like woofers or anything? Yeah. Seasonal. I'm familiar with that.
Is a draft. So I sat down with Leslie and we talked about basically what we needed to do. So the first phase is gather and organize data from all the past surveys, where a project into town hall topics, identify key partners and that type of thing. Let's see if we can get a little bit, there we go. Outreach to partners and key stakeholders, identify the vision. And I think this is basically getting ideas from everyone as to what needs to happen.
And drafting the plan.
Organize new data and develop update goals and vision. Draft economic development strategy and plan.
Okay, she got 4 phases.
She
Okay.
actually participated in the festival
Yeah, she did a survey at the
and did a
festival.
survey there, so it links into this. Yeah.
She also has an implementation part and a maintenance part.
Okay,
Mhm. Good.
So I will review this, but that's
Okay,
basically what
great.
she,
Well, and it's good that it ends with having a plan. I mean, basically,
it's
if
actionable.
we have an actionable plan, we can pass that and then we can move forward with working on the goals of that instead of talking
Right.
about, you know,
keep talking and
what we wanna
talking and
do.
talking and
Yeah.
talking.
Well, something other than just some words that go on the shelf. Yeah, it does.
Right,
Yep.
exactly. Okay.
Part of this also came up because folks are applying to do things with their property around the city. And the question is, do you let them convert land to do this with it? And how does that play against all the work that's been done for the economic development of the city? And we've spent a lot of time and money on Chris and the work he did. And where does it come together so we're not starting to go down a path only to find out that something else was approved and prevents us from doing what we thought we were going to do? And somehow you got to get these things lined up in order so we're not stepping on our own feet as we go down the path. Or we do it with knowledge. We make decisions, the council makes decisions knowing that that property is now going to become a home and we thought it was going to be commercial. Or we proposed that it be something else. That's what brought it up last month.
Mhm.
Do you want to bring up the website or can you?
Well, our
Just
projector
lost it.
unfortunately is not gonna,
It is kaput.
but I will definitely look at it.
it lasted for the
It lasted for that
for the 3 minutes that you.
for the
were
3
able
minutes
to
that we
bring up
needed
the-
to talk and that
It does
was
load
it.
faster. I pulled up on my phone pretty easy today.
That's
Now,
good.
this is a different website.
Yeah. Oh,
Our website, by the way, is under a brute force attack at the moment, so it's shut down.
oh,
Oh, glorious.
I limited it's on purpose so that it will reset itself and then I can get in and block it.
Okay.
And I am donating a website to the city, an update to the current website. So it's basically just taking everything that's there and updating it with a combination of the same content, getting it in a newer design
Mhm.
front end, and hopefully a little more security. Certainly not less security.
Well, Microsoft 365 and Azure got hit today too.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
there's something going on.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got a notice before I signed off today.
Yeah, I had some system at work go down too.
Well, that's what, Peace Health just went to all Microsoft Azure.
Oh, okay.
So all of a sudden we get hit. And
It's time
help-
for a deposit. There
Yeah.
are people that think it's time for their deposits.
Yeah, healthcare is a highly sought after target.
Mm,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay. Really, I had the last thing on the agenda is any other activities, projects, any other topics you guys want to talk about?
Christmas in July is this weekend, and there'll be
that's on
people in
Saturday.
town on Saturday.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a lot of people.
Busy over at the,
Is
I
it
think
gonna-
at the art place and the,
Yeah.
And
because I
is
think
the
they're
new
gonna have
event
some
building again?
stuff in the parking lot.
The
art
Christmas store?
place.
Yeah,
And
the
the
Christmas
art-
store. Yeah.
And the art center across
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
They're gonna have food trucks, they're gonna have music, aren't they? And vendors, yeah. It's gonna be,
There's some other sort of event, group that's not associated with the city, that I saw something listed, I think, on there that was events. Group of Monroe or something like that. Is it something associated with the Prosons where they're trying to organize additional events or kind of coordinate those things?
I don't know. I'm
There,
not.
there has been events coordinated by businesses in the past. I just haven't seen them in the last 10 years or so.
Well, Missy's been doing it the last couple of years with the,
Yeah, there's
Christmas
like
in
a,
July.
This is the third one, I think.
Yeah.
there's been
Yeah.
an event where there was like a music thing and they were selling stuff, some kind of thing down at the middle school. There's been talent events at the high school, and it's various organizations, and it'd be nice for us all to kind of coordinate together,
Oh,
because I think it would make everybody a lot more successful. And I think that's kind of why some of them died off, is because,
there wasn't that.
yeah,
coordination.
especially after COVID hit, people stopped
Oh, my gosh.
coming to
There
things.
was a shared calendar in that.
Mhm, totally agree.
Monroe was all sort of
Yeah.
synchronized in terms of this in terms of waves of potential.
I did have someone from Heritage Hall come and talk to me about a Blackberry Jam. So I thought that was a fantastic idea. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Well, I'm on the monroeea.org site, and it has all the events and activities that are going on. That was done by Stan's group. If you just Google Monroe, Oregon events, you will come up with the Christmas in July,
Mhm. Yeah.
live music at Old World Center and Corvallis, and Bell Fountain Park has the Witch Walk in
In
on
October.
the 21st of July.
Oh, that's in July.
Yeah, and so it actually has quite a few
Huh.
events here listed.
Is it on that Christmas in July, does it say organized by Monroe events?
no, it's,
No, this is actually just this is Google Events.
no, I think it's just, the Christmas in July thing is just put on by,
I think it's just Misty. Yeah.
it's just Misty, and she works along with the Mineral Arts Association.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's pulling-
They're posting it on her website. They're posting it on, I'm not sure if the art center has a website or they just use social media.
I think they've got a website, don't they?
Yeah, but I think they mostly use social
So,
media.
yeah, they probably
The
do.
goal is to get the Monroe EA website calendar
Mhm.
so that people start.
Darn, I thought this was happening here.
I do know, talking to Misty
Louisiana.
last week, she
Yes,
actually,
I
her
think it's all
Christmas store got
lowercase.
into the
If it isn't,
Oregonian
try
and a couple other
L.
newspapers. So Saturday could actually be a very,
992.
very busy time for us here in town.
If it doesn't work, then try capital L.
With all our non-parking.
Well, as usual, it's always fun.
Well, I think that she partners with the Arts Association, so
Yeah.
they have one. I think one of the parking lots they use for some vendor spots or a food truck or something, and then
Yeah.
the other side they have for parking.
What's
They work with
Monroe
gas,
Baby
with-
story time?
With Brady Croson too. I
Oh, no,
think.
that's an
Yeah.
excellent,
380 North Fifth
that's at the library,
Library. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
like Benton Lane Pizza Days.
Yeah. But
Yeah, this is aggregate. So I'm going, just putting
Right,
Monroe,
right.
Oregon events, and Google is aggregating from.
Mhm, right.
from all the areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On another subject. and
Mhm.
Looks like
about
Monroe Baby
next
story time
meeting,
is
maybe
every,
talking about
maybe we could kind of like,
places like Wilbur
tie
Ellis
into
and
that.
Rena's
Mhm.
available areas. How can we actively like try recruiting people like of the
Recruiting
businesses that
businesses.
we're talking about that we
Mhm.
want to see? How do we get them here?
Great question.
Are there any incentives that the city can somehow provide to, for instance, if you went to an existing business that might be a good fit, that they may extend a line of business from Junction City up here? Is there anything that you can say to them as the city, like, we can help expedite your, we're interested in you being here, is there any way to kind of like incentivize them?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
sure that there's some stuff like I mean,
we don't have any permitting for businesses, so I mean,
No taxation, there's no permits, there's
that's one less
very
hurdle.
little.
So basically, you could say for you, there's no permits.
mostly it's mostly I think it's the planning
I think you
costs
still
and
have to
stuff
go to
like
planning
that.
commission with the
Planning.
plan.
And
though.
if you,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if the city wanted to absorb that for a specific, like if we really just had to have a gas station.
I guess the other thing is where? I mean, the land
Yeah.
is basically Kathy Loving's land.
I guess, no, I was talking about like, for instance, she was asking about like Raina's place. So for instance, could you go to Candace Bakery in Junction City and say, this would be a great place for you to extend your business here?
Right.
oh, make a satellite.
Across the world from-
Yeah,
from,
well, I think that's a perfect, that's a BAM
It is, yeah.
So
activity.
there's nothing the city can do to incentivize.
No, well,
Aside from no.
Like what? I mean, that's the.
A couple less hoops.
other than helping absorb some of the planning costs or something, if it was something that, you know,
What
and
are
even
the-
then
what
it's
are
not
the- What are the
I don't know.
fees for the sake of
to the council
discussion?
to decide, but.
If I wanted to open a bakery in Rena's old place, Rena's place,
Mhm.
At the moment, it's
fees would it be?
it's
400
site
bucks?
review plan, $400.
And that's it, right? I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
And then any permitting is through Benton County.
Right. If you want to do food or.
Yeah,
you
any
know,
permitting or
alcohol.
Food, electrical, put the kitchen,
Mhm.
Well,
Right,
but like
right.
the bakery and would you say it was at Junction City?
Mhm, yeah.
They
Chemist.
could actually ship their fresh stuff up and open up every morning.
Just sell it.
Just sell it.
Extend the line of business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not actually get the bakery, but just resell it. I could see Silos doing something like that too, though. Make it, say, hey, can you sell some of your stuff through Silos?
which they already do with some, I think like they get their bagels through Bagel Sphere or something. And
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
and we did have an opportunity one time that kind of got shut down by other users of this hall, but there was a group that wanted to make sopas here.
Oh.
They wanted to rent the kitchen here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but another renter that only had it for 2 days a week demanded that they didn't come in, and there were some political fights there.
yeah, we've talked about making sure getting this kitchen to where we could rent it more to.
Yeah, we've talked about that. in the
Small
past.
Well, it has a
businesses
separate
as-
access, so I mean, that part could be taken care
Well,
of.
and even if it was just so they have access to a commercial kitchen, like maybe they just,
Interesting council meetings.
they sell some sort of canned good or something like that, and they want to come in here and use a commercial
Well, you gotta
kitchen
use
so that
our
they can,
stuff, right?
so they can
Yeah.
can their stuff and then,
Yeah.
Yeah, so not necessarily to operate as a restaurant, but
No,
just to support, yeah.
so the people that
preparation
wanted to
of-
come in here just wanted to bake it here. They weren't gonna sell here, but they just
Yeah.
wanted to use
Yeah,
the.
they just
Right.
need a
It's
picture.
the
Yeah.
kitchen,
Yeah.
that's the issue.
Because you have to be in a licensed kitchen to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we do that at Christ Center.
Mhm.
We do own a sanitizer back there too.
That is
Oh, yes.
the cost of the building, the rental cost.
The rental cost of rent.
Rena's place or any others, if they price it too high, I can't afford to rent it even, and the city
You can
can't,
sell to 7,000 cars coming by every day. I imagine you're gonna be able to handle it, you know, and in terms of the commercial lease there compared to like.
Yeah, in Corvallis even, yeah.
It's nowhere close.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like you say, coming through, how many stop? Because
Yeah.
like Steve says, a lot of the semis like to stop and go to Dairy Mart and get a coffee, but usually you see 5 semis at once. Well, only one gets to stop.
I'm just, I hear from a lot of people about this whole issue, rather than bakeries.
Mhm,
Yeah.
The community who live here are gonna walk here.
Mhm.
This is gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Soren,
a strong potential there.
I do have a question on that one because I spent a fair bit of time with Shirley when she had the bakery
Okay.
and she didn't make a living.
No,
Was there a seating area? and a
Yes.
place
Yeah,
to
there was.
hang out?
Then she served breakfast too and lunch and she tried dinners. There just wasn't enough.
Well, I know people have
bakery
talked about wanting
business.
like a diner or something like that, and Long Branch has tried multiple times to do breakfast, and I
Yeah.
think it just hasn't really,
yeah, we haven't had that.
they
since-
haven't had the traffic that made sense for them to
Mhm.
continue offering it.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I
There could be
totally,
other barriers.
Yeah,
Good
well-
marketing, there could other be
Yeah.
business barriers that are keeping people from
That's true.
succeeding in that way.
yes.
Right.
And the city itself can't really offer anything to help that, other than promotion that there's a bakery here.
Or it sounds like potentially public parking could be a way that the city
Yeah.
could promote.
Could do
promote
it.
Business in
Yeah.
the downtown.
Well,
But-
there's also signage.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
go to, even if you're on the freeway, it always says next fuel stop and it lists them, or restaurants and it lists them. And a lot of small municipalities have that right at their city limits.
Mhm.
I know.
But I think
that's
we
an
have to get
ODOT.
ODOT for that.
ODOT, there's a
Yeah.
program that ODOT has and
I'm aware
I
of
think
that.
I just saw some new ones that were put up.
Mhm.
But the owner,
So-
there's a program, it's on the website.
Mhm.
They go take care of it.
Yeah, there is one other city issue that has hampered some companies, and that is the safety. Shirley was broken into, I think, 2 or 3 times when she was running her business, and they were expensive. And people broke in through the doorway and had.
I think
to
Benny's
replace
has had
doors.
issues.
Excuse me.
Well,
I think Benny's has had issues.
well, that's why we don't have a laundromat, because they broke in and
Tore it all up.
Oh,
all up.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's something the city is part of this whole
Yep.
process going forward.
If you don't have your safety needs met,
Yeah,
it's that
It's
Maslow
tough,
thing. If you don't have those lower tiers met, it is a barrier.
yeah. And we could potentially, as EDC, talk about things like, as much as people hate cameras, cameras could be a deterrent.
Sometimes you just post the sign.
Yeah,
Posting the
there's that
sign
too.
with a real camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a proponent of posting signs with fake cameras, but.
that's not-
But
Well,
you
the-
shouldn't say fake camera.
No.
These are real cameras. There may be cameras in use.
real cameras are
Yeah,
so
maybe.
inexpensive anymore. It doesn't pay to put a fake one up. And you don't have to pay for the service if you have a
No,
DVR somewhere where you can record
Yeah,
and keep it
Store 'em,
yourself.
Store the recordings.
As long as it's in a very secure place, like inside of a safe or something.
Right, right.
And we have, our DVR for this is,
It's locked in the closet.
yeah, it's in a secure
It's in
spot.
the secure closet.
Yeah,
yeah, but those are things that EDC / the city could do
yeah.
until police or sheriff in this case is a viable approach.
We did have a,
More police.
we did have a camera watching the highway at one time. Up on the top of the elevator at Wilbur
Oh,
Ellis.
interesting.
We had a camera looking both ways and you could see up and down
Wow.
the front street.
About 2 a.m, some guy drives down through here like Mad Max at night. It sounds like, just like,
Mm.
The
legislature did
allow for ticket cams. I mean, I don't know. You gotta pay for the service, and then once everyone starts slowing down because they're aware that the cameras are there,
Right.
then you don't
it's
even
like
have the revenue to cover the
camera
cost of
cost of
running the
camera,
cameras.
Yeah, because
Every-
those have to go.
And also they're just,
Mm.
I don't know, they can get challenged in court pretty
No,
They
yeah.
get challenged
They-
in court easily. The revenue from them is usually lower than you expected. And the
Well, like I said,
maintenance and service.
They get to learn better before, you might get a spike and then
Then it-
everyone's like, oh, I better not be speeding through here.
We should all just get radar cameras and guns and just hit them on people once in a while, just see what they do.
No, when we had the law enforcement town hall, I mentioned that out at Muddy Creek, my kids went out there for a little bit. And the sheriff's office would let them, okay, I'm gonna use borrowed. The undersheriff kind of questioned me on the borrowed part, okay. But they let the kids borrow the speed gun and go stand out there. And it was funny because the kids were like, some people actually did slow down when the kids had the gun out there. So it's like, well, that's something for the kids to do. They
Yeah.
probably have fun doing that. But
It is a challenge.
Of us that have radar sensors.
right. Yeah. Anyway,
No.
if there's nothing else, I am going to adjourn us for the evening.
Okie dokie.
Cool. Thank you all for being here.
Have a blood draw at 8:30 in the